I love that. I love the intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I'm going to be your host today with the Let's Talk Fabulous show. We are talking today about sacred scars, finding beauty in broken places. Finding the beauty in broken places. This is going to be, I need you to get a pen and a piece of paper and maybe some tissue, because this is going to be something that's going to be very enlightening when we're talking about those broken places in our life. And we have a wonderful, amazing panelist that's going to be talking about this. So we will be right back. Let's talk. And we are back. I love technology because it brings all the people together on screen. Look at everybody. Oh, that's so nice. Y'all waving. Hey, everybody. So I know you're looking at all these wonderful ladies, these queens on the screen. They're like, okay, who are they? Some of them you've kind of seen already because they're very popular. They're the queens of the queens, but we want to make sure you get to understand, know who they are. And they're going to introduce themselves. We're going to, let's see, put them in the row here. And we'll start off with Miss Queen here.
Hey everybody, I am Pastor Kristina Shauntee, joining you all here from Louisville, Kentucky, and blessed and excited to be in this conversation with these beautiful ladies.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor. Also, I know I have to say this because she knows I say this all the time. She's my pastor. I love her dearly. Next, oh my God. Oh, I can't even. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. I'm Roxy B. Rocker. I live in Massachusetts, and I'm just delighted to be here. I think these stories are so important.
Yes, this is another angel of mine in my life just came in. Rocky B. I always like saying her name, Rocky B. Rocker. We're going to have a wonderful time, and she has, I'm telling, amazing as well. Next lady in line.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ellison, and I live in a small town about an hour and a half west of Chicago, Cortland, Illinois, and I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I am too. This is B. We're the BBs. We call each other the BBs. Another wonderful, wonderful lady and queen in my life. And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Erica Hansen, and I am tuning in from Michigan, and it's just always an honor and a privilege to be on the show.
Yes, and it's always an honor and privilege to have you on the show. So see, I have all my wonderful queen besties here. And really, I want everybody to remind everybody again, this is a safe place to put comments. Please, we want to talk to you too. It's just not all of us talking. So with that, like I said, the topic for today, I was thinking I'm going to kind of give a little history, just a quick history, because we want to get into the videos and we want to get into talking about this. But I wanted to really bring a fact about anything in your life that you have dealt with that you felt like it was the earthquake, the floods, whatever level you want to put it at. It was rough. Okay. We're just going to put it out there. We all had some rough things in life. And I always tell people, keep living because it's going to keep happening. That's just a part of it. But we have to learn how to maneuver through that, get to the other side and say, okay, that hurt. But there was some lessons learned, but there was hope there. But, I pulled from my anchors, as I call it. My anchor is God. Your anchor might be something different, but you pull from the anchor and they moved you through that. And now you're in a whole different place and you can get there. So this is what we want to talk about today, about those sacred places, those lessons. I want to call them sacred lessons because they were lessons that we went through to get to the other side. So with that said, I want to start off but setting the tone. I'm going to start with Barbara's video, and we're going to get a chance to talk to her about it after we play it. So we'll be right back.
When we talk about sacred scars, I believe what we're really talking about are the places that life has stretched us, humbled us, and yet invited us to grow in ways that we never expected. Because scars are the signs that something tried to break us. And it didn't win. So here's a tip that I want to share with you today. Look at the scar that you have and then name the strength it gave you. Not the pain, the strength. Maybe the scar taught you resilience, and maybe it deepened your faith, and maybe it softened your heart towards others who are hurting or in the same spot that you are. Maybe it awakened a purpose you didn't see before it. And because when we pause and name the gift that's inside the wound, the story shifts completely. And the scar becomes sacred because it becomes a testimony. It becomes our testimony of resilience and strength and character. It's a reminder that healing happens. It's that renewal happens, and that God is still shaping beauty in the places that we thought we had lost or that were lost. So today, I can't talk. So today, take a look at one of your scars that you have. Is it an emotional scar or a physical scar? And whisper gratitude for the strength that now lives within that scar. Because you know what? That's also where beauty begins.
Awesome, awesome. So I love how Barbara was talking about resilience and just getting through that with whatever you're dealing with. So Barbara, I'm going to bring you in the middle. I want you to give any other items that you wanted to talk about regarding that. Uh-oh. She's on mute.
I don't know. I'm mute. So often we are so afraid to share our scars because we don't want people to judge us, or how could they have done that, whatever that is. And we label our scars with shame and those things rather than but the thing is, though, when we can get past that, that's where, because when you tell the first person, like I remember the first time I had to declare bankruptcy many years ago. And I was so ashamed, and oh, brother, I couldn't believe that I had gotten myself into this such mess. And then I told my first friend, and she looked at me. She said, "Well, welcome to my world." I've done that too. And that's exactly what we need to do when we can share that vulnerability. Not when it's not, share it with an assorted of your own confidants. I mean, I don't say broadcast it to the world. Wait till it's healed over. And now I have no problem saying, yeah, I had to declare bankruptcy, and I have no problem saying that. But at the time, I was devastated. So just be aware of when you do want to share something, share it with somebody that you really know, like, and trust, not with the world right off. But don't shy away from sharing it, because you never know who's listening that is in exactly the same spot.
Yeah,
And then
I love that.
they say, well, if Barb can do that, or whoever can do that, then I guess I can too.
Yes. Wonderful. Anybody else want to chime in with a little bit what Barbara said? Erica?
When you were talking, Barbara, it reminded me of actually something the other Barbara, hostess Barbara, once told me, and she was explaining that it's like when you cross a river, you've got these individual stones, these stepping stones, and some feel small and some are larger, but sometimes it feels like you're out there alone. And what I hear from you, Barbara, and I just appreciate it so much, is that even though we all have individual stones and they're with our own markers and our own experience, we don't have to be on there alone. And those can be bigger to hold more people.
Nice. Oh, I love that. I love that. Anybody else want to chime in? This is good. Let me put, I'm going to start picking people. There we go.
Barbara, you said something, vulnerability, being able to be vulnerable. But I also love the wisdom that you placed in there. You said be vulnerable with individuals, first of all, that you can trust. That part, because it's a vulnerable space. And when you have an open wound, whatever somebody speaks to you is now either going to become ointment to that wound, that scar, or they could speak poison that could be like alcohol to that scar. So what you shared was wisdom. You know, be wise in who you share your vulnerability with when you are in a season of where you know, hey, I'm wounded right now. My wing is broken. I'm not flying so strong right now. But give yourself grace. But I love what you said. Be wise in who you share it with.
Ooh, that was a mic drop. That was a mic drop. I love what Pastor Christina said when she said, people could be either ointment or alcohol to your
Mm.
wound. And I have many people that I messed up and I had a lot of alcohol going on. And it was burning. I'm telling you. Woo, I love what Pastor say, yeah. Amen on a Sunday. Yeah, because I was like, oh God, why does it seem like it's getting worse instead of better? And I'm talking to these individuals, and it just seemed like it's getting, yeah. So it's like, okay, Barbara, they're bringing the alcohol. They're not bringing the ointment and the soothing of it. So I love that what you said. That was powerful. Okay, Roxy, I got you.
I got it. I'm coming on. So I think that Barbara, what you said is knowing about the people that you trust,
Mhm.
but also knowing that being a little curious and being a little safe is okay, because that impact that we're going to make on somebody when we share these things from our heart, because we don't know what they might be going through. We don't know. Just like your friend, she was in the same club.
It was the same.
Somebody else might be in that same club, and it might be okay to open up a little bit of that safety. We don't have to go into the whole big story and tell the large wound, but sharing some of that information, sharing some of that insight might just give a little bit of hope to someone, little bit of extra to someone, saying, oh, I'm hurting too. Yeah, my bank account kind of went into the red, and I didn't know what to do. And wow, this really helps me because now I don't feel like I'm alone anymore.
Mm,
And I think that it's a place of comfort to give that hope to others.
yes, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to, since we have Roxy B. Rocker giving us this wonderful, wonderful and tips and stuff. Let's hear from her video, and we'll go from there.
When you survive things in your life, you always have to reflect back. If I didn't get the healing part done, where would I be in my life? If I didn't know that all of these things that have happened to me, through my disability, through discrimination, through domestic violence, car accidents that almost made you not be here, if I wrap all of that up and I stay in that space where I'm abusing myself, I wouldn't be able to move on and be able to take care of my life and provide a space for me to have growth, wisdom, and give back to others. I would stay in that space where I'm in pain, where I'm hurting, where I can't make a difference for someone else. And for me, I want to be able to make differences for others. So I've had to grow and change. And that's where I am today.
I told everybody got to get tissue. Woo.
I
Oh,
make myself cry. I don't even remember saying all the powerful, magical things that come out of this beautiful heart mouth of mine. I have to scars. I mean, I have so many on my body and so many that have happened to me. Um, I was born disabled and I've been falling since I was a child, and I have two very long scars on my knee, and they remind me of my disability every day. Um, and the funny part on that is the scars that happened to my face and my head. You can't see any of them because when they did the plastic surgery after the car accident, they did such a good job that I can't even see those scars. But the leg one that I had at 11, I can see them. And when I said on the video, it's so true. If I would have stayed and just sat that said, "Oh, I'm disabled, I'm not capable," and listened to people in school and said, "Oh, yeah, you'll just be a secretary or you'll just do this or you won't be able to have anything," I wouldn't have gotten anywhere in my life. Wouldn't have gotten far. I wouldn't have gotten to speak on stages and in the volunteer world at volunteer conferences with Points of Light and the National Corporation on National Service. I wouldn't have given myself any of those opportunities. I wouldn't have been able to help people get jobs because I could have stayed in those wounds, in that pain, in that hard place. Yeah, this is what the world says. This is what they tell me. But something inside of me always wants to know, is there more? Can I go? Now, the interesting, really even more interesting part was when I hit my head and I blacked out in that car. And I don't even know. It took me a couple of days to even get back onto planet Earth. I don't even know where I was. When I realized that accident happened and I could have not been here anymore, like my brain could have been scrambled or all of these things come up when something really traumatic, and I've had a lot of trauma, but something really traumatic happens. When that happened, there was something so pulling because I was only doing my wellness work. I wasn't talking about my disability work anymore. But then I knew that I had to do something, become something that was going to be able to generate storytelling or change or make an impact for others. And I heard it from above that, nope, you're using your voice. You've got to talk about disability. You've got to talk about life, your life, because it's going to help people. And I didn't know what that meant. And then I saw what happened this year and how God orchestrated a whole bizarre world of clothing lines and getting to be on platforms like this, to be able to share stories. But those wounds, yes, they're still there. But they're covered. And now they're covered in love and support and friendship and queens that we can be together. And it's such a beautiful opportunity to know that you can have growth. Yeah. It takes time. I'm not going to tell you that none of this was easy because it takes time to heal. But you also have to know that you can heal. Mm-hmm. And I think the tip for that is, do I want to suffer in this emotional pain? And do I want to suffer in this physical pain? Or do I want to find out how I can move that? So I think, you call upon a friend and you ask, well, what did you do if something happened to you? Do you have a good doctor or a good chiropractor or a good somebody that maybe can help you? Or maybe there's a therapist that you want to talk to or need to find, so you can start opening up your heart. Because that's what I did when I was in the hospital. I was on the phone with my therapist crying, trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? I'm scared. Right. And you know what? Can we admit that we're scared sometimes? Can we just admit that? Because maybe if we tell ourselves that we're scared, we can also find out how we can be less afraid and give ourselves more love. Because that more love starts within us. And then we can give it out. But it's okay to say, I'm scared. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But if you take a little bit of a digestible step of saying, okay, well, maybe I feel better over here, but I'm still scared over here. Maybe I can maybe I can let a little bit more of that go. But boy, does it take time. I'm not going to tell you that this happens overnight. It does not. It takes time. and it takes a process. And, ask people that you love, what have they done? What can they tell you about their own healing? And be curious about that too, because you deserve to give yourself some love. You deserve to give yourself some warmth, and you deserve to give yourself time so these wounds can start closing. And instead of them burning, give it that ointment, and give that ointment with love. Because I agree with the lovely pastor over here. We don't want it.
Since you did mention love, I needed to put that in there because that's where it all boils down to. So with that, we're going to come back, and if anybody else has to talk upon what Queen Roxy said, but I believe this one video, and I have to give a lot of credit where credit's due for Mrs. Queen B. Tamra. She has been producing and making these songs, and they are just amazing. So this one particular one, I just want people to sit and think about rising again. And this is what that song is all about. So we'll be right back.
Sometimes the silence hurts the most, when the echo's all you hear. Pieces scattered, promises broke, but somehow I'm still here. I gave my heart, it fell through my hands. The truth I knew came crashing down, but in the dust I saw the plan. The smallest spark still burning now. Maybe the breaking was really the making. A chance to breathe, to see, to be. I'm learning how to fly again from all I lost, from where I've been. Every scar's a map that shows the strength beneath the skin. I'm standing in the light again, braver than I've ever been. Love's the fire that pulled me through. I'm coming home to truth. I found my voice in quiet tears. The storm became my guide. Sometimes we fall to find our fears. We're just the shadows of our lives. Letting go of what I can't control, forgiving to free my soul. The past is a teacher, not a chain. I rise again. I rise again. I'm learning how to fly again from all I lost, from where I've been. Every scar's a star that shows the beauty from within. I'm standing in the light again, stronger than I've ever been. This heart was made to shine right through. I found my way back home to truth, to my truth. Sometimes the silence heals the most, and lies again. Rise again.
I'm doing that because I got to give y'all some hugs, give y'all some love out there. You're rising again. You're not sticking in that one place. I could be on my soapbox right now, so I better cool it down because this is about us talking. But it just gets me excited just to hear that no one didn't stay in the places
Right.
of those places that we're talking about, and we can all talk about it and help others. And that's what it's all about, right? That's why we got this community. That's why we got this show. That's why we do what we do, because we need to show that through all of that, there's still love. There's still love in that. So, with that said, any before I get to, because we're gonna get to, good, because this is going right into her video. So, Pastor, I'm gonna let you make some comments.
I just wanted to comment on Roxy. You just played Tamara's song Rise Again, right? And Roxy said that she decided she had to become something. When you said that, that hit me. In that moment, you decided to rise again. You decided to rise again in the womb. And you also said that you could have stayed in that womb,
Yeah.
but you decided to rise again up out of that womb. That right there was like for me when you said that. And then that song came up right after. That's
I know.
exactly what you did. I mean, you were like the phoenix rising from, the fire, and I believe you're now an eagle soaring. God has taken those ashes and he has turned it into beauty. And it's radiating in you from the innermost to the outermost, Roxy. So thank you for sharing.
Anybody else? Wonderful, Pastor. Thank you so much for putting that point out
Y'all
there.
make me
So, right.
cry on this show.
I told you get the tissue.
Make me cry on the show. Thank you. Beautiful, Pastor. Hope to connect with you at some point.
Oh, Barbara or Miss Erica, I don't want to forget you two now.
Okay. Go.
I don't think there's anything to say.
I know. It's like the mic dropped twice.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
respect. Yeah.
yes.
One of the things that I think that came to my mind is that we all have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
We have that choice. I loved what Roxy said, is that she had a choice to stay where she was or to rise.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had scars in our lives.
Yep.
All of them. And in that moment, we have to choose. And I think what happens so often, people don't think they have a choice. Oh, well, they blame it on circumstance, or they blame it on their parents, or they blame it on an accident, or they blame it on, in my case, the company that I was doing marketing for got shut down by the FTC. So I lost everything that I had built. And so I could have said, oh, well, it was that with that's what happened to me. And so, yes, poor me. No, let that go. And we have that choice to let it go, because we all have things that have happened to us. Now, one of the things for me is I choose to believe that everything that happens to us is actually for us.
Mm.
Because God had a plan from the beginning. He knew from the beginning of time that we were going to face whatever it is that thing that we have all faced. And so, yeah, it's a choice. And I just encourage everybody to make that choice. And even that, in that one moment of choice, that is the one little small step. And yet it is huge. Because then when you've made that choice, you can make the next choice and the next choice and the next choice. And I love that, Carolyn. Yeah, our scars are the learning lessons. I love that. Swim up, suit up, and show up. Exactly. All that. And it says in the word that God grows us from glory to glory. But sometimes those glories are paper thin, and yet sometimes they're a volume of a book. And when we can just do each one, but he doesn't give us the volume of a book before we've taken the first page. But we have to take the first page, and that's our choice.
Yeah. Well, speaking of choices, that's why I chose all these wonderful queens on this. let's put that out there. You see how awesome this is. And with that, I want to go into another video that wonderful Pastor Kristina Shauntee put together. and let her comment on it afterwards, and everybody can have their say as well.
Hi, I'm Pastor Kristina Shauntee, and I'm honored to join the Let's Talk Fabulous show for this sacred conversation. We're talking about sacred scars, and here's what I've learned. A scar means that the wound has closed, and God has already healed what tried to destroy you. For years, I hid my scars, shame from my past, heartbreak, and deep places I thought disqualified me. But what I discovered through the Holy Spirit and my relationship with God, that the very things I tried to cover are now the places where God's glory shines the brightest. So if you're listening and you feel broken, hear this. God is not done with your story. Your scars are not evidence of defeat. They are proof you survived. They are testimony that grace won. And mercy, God's mercy, bent down low to heal what life tried to break. God bless you.
Okay, I'm just gonna put her right in the middle because that was ooh.
Amen. Amen. You know, the title, this show is about sacred scars, but it's about finding beauty in broken places. And at one point in time, um, my marriage, it wasn't built on perfection. Um, my marriage has been built on mercy. There was a season where brokenness in both my husband and I, in both of our lives, opened the door for both of us to be wounded. But God, in His compassion, God, in His mercy, He bent low to heal what life tried to break in our marriage almost 20 some odd years ago. And what my husband and I found is through God's mercy, that wound that we thought wounded our soul, God restored our souls. God redeemed our covenant of marriage. And that's a serious wound. And as a result, today, my husband and I, we just don't preach a gospel based on performance. We preach a gospel of grace and mercy from that place where God bent down and healed us, where our souls had been wounded. And because of that, we believe that we're showing the evidence of the kingdom of God through our marriage. And our love story, notice I said love story, is not defined by what tried to destroy us. It's not defined by our scars. It's not defined by what tried to break us, but it's defined by what God did to rebuild us through His mercy. So we stand strong today. And we're standing because we believe God is faithful. And so here it is, 25 years later, we are committed to leading others to the same mercy that saved us, the same mercy that restored our souls, the same mercy that healed our wounds. And just like you, Roxy, we chose, to actually let that pain become our power and the power to encourage and help other couples say, hey, you can get past this wound. You can get past this hurt. God can do something with it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much,
Mhm.
Pastor Christina. And it's if I'm hearing this word and it keeps ringing in my ear about choosing. That's the important part of it because you can make that decision at that point at any time when you're dealing with what we're talking about, broken places. And so I love how people are saying, okay, you can choose this, and you can go on that trail to becoming that whole, to becoming that person, to flipping it, as I always say. So thank you, Pastor Christina, for that and reminding us of that, and giving you your story of you and your wonderful other pastor, your husband, and it is a love story. It really is a true love story. And you know what? I just want to add to that. When you talked about love stories are going to come in this way. It's not
Mm,
going to be a straight thing. Never is.
mm,
I don't care what anybody said. People say, "Oh, I had to." This is no. I know you went through some things, but see, the
mm,
powerful thing about the love story is love conquered all. So,
mm,
with that said, I just really thank you for that story, and thank you for telling us that because like I said, people need to hear that. I'm seeing a lot of comments out there. In fact, let me see
mm,
some comments here. People talking. Okay. Oh, we got Kim O'Neill. Hey, Miss Kim, our other host for Let's Talk Fab. Yes, we got some wonderful comments out there. So I just want to, Tara is showing love and making sure we're remembering. So there was one of our senior volunteers that she used to, I mean, she was amazing and always amazing, even that she's no longer with us anymore. But we always get reminded of her. We call the Purple Club because she loved purple. She loved the Purple Heart. She loved purple pen. She loved purple pen, everything, purple bus, the whole 9 yards. So we always give a honor to that. So we're going to play just a little quick video and then we'll be right back. Legacy of love. I don't care whatever legacy you talk about. Legacy of love overpowers it all to me. That's coming from Barbara J. Beckley. I'm just saying now, just putting it out there. But it is. I mean, you can, when you leave a legacy of love, whatever you're working, whatever you're doing, I don't care what business, nonprofit, what it is. If the legacy of love is founded in that, that's powerful, and it's going to always keep. So always remember that. Now, I want to put up something before we get to Mrs. Erica's video, a question for everybody. Yeah, I'm changed up a little here. Yeah, I can do that. I'm host. So I want to put up here, how can showing your imperfections, oh no, I'm not, you know what? I'm hosting and it went straight to the wrong question. Isn't this wonderful? Okay. If your scars could speak, what encouragement would they offer someone struggling today? So I want people out there to think about, what you went through, what you dealt with, and you overcame that, or, you move forward, or whatever the case, what we're talking about. How can you encourage today and every other day, encourage others if they're struggling? Because everybody's in different places right now. We can't all say that we all the victory right. We're all having the victory right. We're talking about it. But there might be somebody out there right now, right this second, that's maybe thinking about, I'm going to go to Barbara's point, a bankruptcy, about their finances is all over the place. And they're like, is this the only thing I can do? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Those things happen before we get into that other place that we're feeling, better and we healed and all that stuff. So I want people to understand we need to encourage each other. And that's why bringing these stories, bringing these tips, bringing these nuggets helps give them that hope. Okay. So that's just a question there. Now back to our regular station, broadcast station here. We're going to go right here to, before we get to Miss Erica, we're going to kind of pep it up a little bit because we're always talking about the fabulous life, right? And fabulous and being fabulous. Well, she did it again, Queen V Tamra. We're going to play this one video. Then we're going to get to Erica's video.
Life isn't always glitter, and dreams can slip from view. We all get tangled in the moments. We don't know what to do.
But there's a whisper in your heartbeat, a fire deep inside, a story shaped by courage. You were made to live a life.
So when doubt begins to echo like a storm across your mind, shake it loose, step through the doorway. Your brilliance is designed. F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Faith, action, bravery, unity, love, opportunity, unstoppable spirit. Watch us shine, we're wired for yes. Every heart is power inside, come alive, step into your best. F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Joy is how we manifest, love will spread our message east to west. Together we rise, we are fabulous. Being fabulous means giving, being brave enough to care, being light in someone's darkness,
Leaving hope everywhere.
every kindness builds a legacy. Every hand-to-hand connects when love becomes our language.
That's the magic we protect.
When you walk with heart intention, every shadow turns to gold.
That's the moment life says, watch this as your miracles unfold.
F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Faith, action, bravery, unity, love, opportunity, unstoppable spirit. Watch, touch, shine, we're wired for yes.
Every heart has power inside.
Come alive.
Step into your best.
F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Joy is how we manifest. Love will spread our message east to west. Together we rise. We are fabulous. Fabulous is a frequency, and I choose to rise.
Fabulous means every heart is magic waiting inside.
Fabulous isn't what you wear, it's the love you share. Fabulous is courageous, that's how we dare. Fabulous means anything is still possible even now. Fabulous means faith, action, bravery, unity, love, opportunity, and unstoppable spirit. Faith in who we are becoming.
Action when the world needs more.
Bravery in every season, unity in every door. Love that lights the darkest moments.
Opportunity in every step.
Unstoppable spirit rising. This is F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Faith, action, bravery, unity, love, opportunity, unstoppable spirit. Watch us shine, we're built for yes. Every soul is limitless, keep rising into nothing less. F.A.B.U.L.O.U.S. Love is how we manifest, hearts together, truly blessed. This life we live is fabulous.
Be brave.
Be kind,
Choose love.
your legacy of love begins with you.
Be brave.
This is beautiful.
This is you.
This is fabulous.
Okay, so we all know that we're fabulous right now, right? We got that. We got that on lock right now. We are all wonderful and fabulous, and we show love right on that end. So with that, we're going to go right into Miss Fabulous Erica and see what she has to say about our topic today.
Hi, I'm Erica. There's a park by my house that I walk around with my dog every morning. And the Parks Committee usually does a pretty good job of doing some healthy trimming of the trees and bushes each year. But a few years ago, I arrived at the park to see, it was horrifying. They had done a hatchet job. I mean, literally, it looked like some branches had been just ripped off. Bushes were cut back way too far. It was awful. It was horrible. And a couple months ago, I was walking and I realized that not only had the trees and bushes recovered and grown back, they've actually grown back more. If a tree branch was there, there might be two. Bushes, one place where they cut back, all of a sudden, a ton of branches had sprouted. The trees and the bushes have come back fuller. They're more bold, they're more brilliant, and talk about a lesson in resilience. When something happens and leaves a scar, either visibly or the invisible ones, we can't go back. We can never go back. But what the trees and the bushes have taught me is that we can go forward. And in going forward, there is the possibility of being better and more brilliant and more bold. Resilience is within us.
See, I got to keep control because I'm hosting this, but I just been wanting to scream, cry, and everything. Oh, rest just says, okay, I'm just going to put you in the min before I go there.
I think that the hardest thing that I've had to learn, and it speaks from that lesson of not being able to go back is the acknowledgement and the acceptance that it's okay if we don't go back, that we can go forward and better and all of that. But you also have to allow yourself an opportunity to mourn who you were before that event. And because that's important to pay respect and acknowledge to who you were before. But then it's to step forward and know that what you can be is immeasurable. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but tough lesson, but it's really true. And if you just look at nature, it teaches all of us.
Yes, and I love how you use it as an example, Erica, that with nature, we learn from, nature, the animals, everything. And what I love what you said is that take it in, admit it, go through the hurt, the pain. Say that because my past, I'm gonna put her on here because she teaches us that. Own it at the time. Don't see like it's not there because it's there. The hurt is there. Like Roxy said, it takes steps and stuff. But then after all that, then you come to that other place that you say, okay, now I can move forward in it. So I love how you brought that, and that's where the resilience comes in at, and that's where you can talk to yourself, and that's when you talk to others in the community. You find out, like Barbara said, oh, been there, done that. Welcome to my world, right? But it's not so much saying welcome to my world, ha. It's like, welcome to my world. I get you. I feel you. I understand to a certain extent what you're dealing with. And that even helps even more building those building blocks to the resistance to get to the other side, right? So that's why I loved how you took that whole just looking at the trees and stuff, how how we just learn from that alone. I mean, that's awesome. Anybody else wants to comment or add to?
So
Oh,
I
I got a
just
lot of people. Here we go.
I just want to say, Erica, I love how you took challenge and sadness of the trees of this place that's very comfortable for you, and then you saw beauty and you saw hope. And so I think that that's the encouragement right there, is that we can take this breaking, this hard part, this thing that hurt, or this wound that was there, and then find something that is beautiful within it. Find something that can bring growth and change, because the unexpected can be the unexpected can turn into something even more beautiful.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah,
And I think somebody else, Barbara, did you have your hand up? Yeah, I just want to
Barbara.
make sure. Yeah.
Just one of the things that comes to mind for me too is that so often we look at the things that happened to us. On the other side of that is the things that we did. And we have to bring self forgiveness to ourselves that we did something that was hurtful, that was wrong, that was so huge in our minds. And we have to bring self forgiveness, because so often we carry wounds within us that, oh brother, what if somebody knows that about us? And we have to let those things out, because they will poison everything around us, not only our own life, but it'll poison the things around us, because hurting people hurt other people. And when we can bring that self-forgiveness to ourselves and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I did. Okay, I did this. Fess up. If you messed up, fess up, take the heat for it. Absolutely. We do have to make restitution and whatever that is, whether it's embarrassment or whatever it is, but then let it go. Because otherwise that scar will just keep picking at it. And a scar, I mean, have you ever had a scar, like a little, like on a mosquito bite, and it scabbed over, and then what did you do? You picked at it. Well, it started to bleed again. Yeah, well, quit doing that. Don't pick at the scars. Let them heal. Know that you did it. Okay, I shouldn't have done it, but then let it go. Because we'll never get past it if we don't let it go. If you can make restitution for something, absolutely do it, but then let it go. It becomes in your past, and then it becomes a scar that you can talk about, and then you can say, hey, yeah, been there, done that, shouldn't have done it, but been there, done that. And that's where you can teach from that moment to someone else who's also done it.
Mm. Powerful, powerful. When you were saying "Let It Go," Barbara, I was thinking of that song popped in my head from the movie "Let It Go, Let It Go," and it's so true. It's just like let it go after that. When you did all that, especially the forgiveness, that's so important. Because I was just thinking about how you said, because I had a scar and I picked and picked,
And you
and it
picked at
started
it
and it made it worse. And I'm
and
like,
made it
dang,
worse.
it's more itchy now. Now it's bleeding. Now it's spreading.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was like, what's going on with this? Well, Barbara, you kind of caused that. You kept
you
picking.
did it.
So
Let
I
it
had to
go.
admit to myself, I started that. So, okay, this is where we got to go. So lovely, lovely. Anybody else before we, because we're going to be wrapping up in a little bit, but I just want to say to everybody, I do have another question. Like I said, I do some different things here. So let's just show this is for not just the panelists here to think about, but for you, everybody out there that's watching us. How has a broken place in your life become a source of strength, purpose, or resilience today?
Yeah.
Very important. Those three things. How has the broken place, whatever you want to call that broken place, if you want to call it a scar, whatever it is, because everybody has different ways of putting it, how has that moved you in the place of strength, purpose, and resilience? Very important to really think about that, because I always tell people that what we go through, and I know Erica said a little bit of too what I say sometimes, is that it's just stepping stones of strength in your life. Little stepping stones of strength. When you get to that point. Because you think about it when you say, "Y'all, I'm stronger than I was before." Then, but it took me to get through all that to say, "Wow, I got through that." Sometimes, and I know people be like, "I really got through that." I mean, sometimes you just like look around and say, like I was gonna say that Urkel, did I do that? Did I get through that?" That's how it happens sometimes. So with that, I want each of these wonderful panelists. First of all, thank you so much, because I'm not going to have big time to say that, for being on this show, because this was very important, I believe, for everybody to listen to and to understand their stories are strengths. Their stories are strengths, and they can get through it. So I want to go one by one of our panelists to give any lasting thoughts to the audience. Think about something that people are in different places right now. So just give just the last thought that you have for them when it comes to beauty to ashes and broken places. So I'm going to start with Roxy and then go from there.
So give yourself a little bit of comfort and room. Don't be hard on yourself. This is not easy. Trust me. You're going to have tears. You're going to have sadness. You're going to have frustration. But you know what? When you can really move a little bit at a time, you're going to have hope. You're going to be able to, somebody might hold your hand. You're going to be able to embrace this wound later, and you're going to be like, "Wow, what happened?" And you'll celebrate that. I'm encouraging you to do that. Celebrate these milestones, because the pain doesn't have to suffer that way. But take it slow, because you are going to have some sadness and some challenges with it. But you could get to the other side. I did. So don't forget to celebrate the milestone, because you deserve it.
Okay, Miss Erica, 30 seconds.
I actually,
Mhm.
I wore a T-shirt to be my little advice. It was from when I had breast cancer. I bought it for myself, but it can really apply. And it says, "Nobody fights alone." And it's just a reminder for everybody. And I actually bought myself this shirt to remind me during my fight, is that you aren't alone. We can't live alone as humans. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask for the help that you need.
Awesome, awesome. Barbara?
One of my favorite sayings that I tell people all the time is celebrate the things that you are and let go of the things that you think you're not. And I truly believe that this subject is part of that.
Mhm.
Celebrate the steps that you've taken and let go of the things that you haven't.
Mhm.
Quit comparing.
Mhm.
Pastor Christina.
Every time shame tries to whisper in your ear, shame from those past scars, let the Holy Spirit remind you that chapter is closed and the glory chapter has begun. Only grace, mercy, and strength and love are in your next chapter.
So with that, everybody, thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. And we will see you next Sunday with the wonderful topic. But always remember that you are fabulous.